Hello out to all you wonderful people. This is Andre the Game, my dear guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. And we've been down this road before multiple times. And apparently we're going to be going down this road again for another stroll. So Bloomberg is right before the final Smash reveal saying that there is going to be a Switch Pro. Now, while I do not think that there is going to be a new tablet outside of what the Switch OLED is, I don't think that there's going to be any new hardware introduced in the tablet format. But, I mean, I could see Nintendo doing a new dock. And here's why. They've already proven that both versions of the Switch work with both of the current versions of the dock. Well, not current, because the other one doesn't come out for another few days. But both versions of the Switch work with both docks. No matter what you want to say. Or at least the main physical version of the Switch anyway. We're talking the OG Switch and the OLED. Both of those work with the docks. So, if both of those can work with the dock, work with the same docks, and they're interchangeable, what's to say Nintendo doesn't release a newer version of the Switch with an upgraded dock? Again, I don't think that there's going to be new physical hardware for the tablet portion. I just don't see that happening. Mostly because that would completely alienate the close to 100 million people that they've already got in their ecosystem. So I don't see them just saying, oh, we're just going to throw a new Switch out there that will remove games from being playable for these people here that play stuff on handheld. And on top of that, they got to keep in consideration the fact that they have the Switch Lite, which is dockless. It's handheld only. So that's something they got to think about. Now, I say that because we've heard rumors about this for 4 years now, since the launch of the Switch, that there was going to be a 4K model coming out. And it's all been coming from the same source. Whether the news outlet that is saying it is different, it's all coming from the same source. Dude puts a brand new spin on it. Well, not even a new spin. It's the same spin. He just changes the dates. So this person just repeats the same thing over and over and over again. And I mean, myself, for at least the last couple of years, I have suggested that if we're getting a real upgrade to the hardware for the Switch, it's going to be in the dock. More than likely, it's going to be something along the lines of a clone of the parts that are in the tablet of the Switch. So it could be played at home with it. Or, I mean, it just upgrades the Switch. Like you basically, let's say, I'm trying to remember which ones are the more processing heavy cores for the Tegra X1 the customized Tegra X1 that they use. I want to say it's the A57 cores. If they copy at least those over in the GPU into the dock, again, they could run it like an eGPU, where it boosts the performance, boosts the output and all that for your Switch while it's docked. But it doesn't affect it when it's undocked. Now, if they could do something along those lines where it'll run all of those cores together, and then when you take it out the dock, it switches over to the A53 cores, there you go. Again, that's just me considering how they could do it. Now, I can't promise that is the case. I really truly can't promise that that is the case because I'm not Nintendo. I don't run their business. I'm just saying what I would think would make the most sense to do. But that would also require them to do some updates to their firmware so that the switches, every Switch model can adjust for that. That's another thing you have to consider. Every Switch model has to be able to adjust for that. So I don't know how that would work per se without them updating the firmware to point to that. Again, I'm not the tech guy. I mean, I have a decent surface level understanding, I believe, but I'm not the guy that really understands the deeper nature of what these different parts are capable of and results that we would get. On top of that, again, we've been hearing this rumor since 2017. A Switch Pro, a Switch Pro, Switch Pro. And my thing is, if you want a Switch Pro, then that means everybody that's denying that the Switch is a 9th gen console will have to say it's a 9th gen platform. And a lot of them don't want to do that. The best bet that they could hope for is that Nintendo is working on completely new hardware, separate of the Switch. Something that does not operate, well, something where the parts don't operate backwards. Like, that's the best that they can hope for if they want to keep pushing the idea that the Switch is an 8th gen platform. But either way, we've been down this road multiple times. Like, if anything, I'm still of the thought process that Nintendo is going to have a dock that has the hardware in it, that they can sell for a cheap price to people who already have Switches, and that they can sell with an OLED Switch at this point for like $400 to $450. That's what my guess is. Getting that dock stationary, getting it alone, probably $150. Getting it with the OLED model, probably $450. That's what I'm going to assume and guess. If they are doing an upgrade for the Switch, that's how they'll be doing it. Now, people can fight me on it if they want to, but I doubt it would be a worthwhile fight. Because for me, again, this is just my speculation and what I think makes the most sense. As long as they're not working on a totally new set of hardware outside of the Switch. That would be it for me. And that would mean that Nintendo has run its course, because they have just about run their course with the Switch. We're in the twilight years of it if they're not going to come up with some sort of upgrade for it. Simple as that. Now, that being said, I am kind of interested in what they do have planned next, just to see what it is. It's an interesting concept to me, so what other things would they be diving into wholesale that they could use to enhance gaming? That is a curious question. But, yeah, and also Nintendo came out and said that there was no Switch Pro based upon that rumor. They kind of shut it down pretty quickly, like they did with the last one. So I forgot to mention that, so I wanted to make sure I threw that in there. But I do wonder what they'll be doing next, because they've got plans. The wheels have been turning, and the cogs have been moving. So there's got to be something next that's going to be interesting enough for people, and I doubt that they're just going to cast aside cartridges. I think they are completely going to stick to that format, especially if they're doing another hybrid. So, yeah. But, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out, everybody.